Creations. The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this show do not necessarily reflect those of the staff or management of Radio Hotties. The content broadcast of this show is meant for informational and entertainment purposes only. Top of the morning, Bay, with Good Morning Bay.
Get to know about the traffic on your way and what's news around the world today.
Some wisdom skills along the way.
Oh, and a song to hum along with and sway.
Get your perfect entertaining start to the day.
At 9 a.m. every weekday morning with Mahina's Good Morning Bay.
गुड मॉर्निंग बे आप सभी लोग हमारी तरफ से एक प्यार भरा नमस्ते
नमस्कार
वनकम
नमस्कार
खुशामदीद
अस्सलाम वालेकुम
सत श्री अकाल
మీకు అందరికీ వందనము
जय स्वामी नारायण
जय श्री कृष्ण
जय जिनेंद्र
हमारे इस्माइली भाई बंधुओं को बोल दे कि हाली मदद
मलाली मतलब बोलते हैं सारे फीचर मतलब बोलेंगे निशा बुला बरजान हम आ गए हैं आपके प्यारे महिमा के द्वारा मैं से फालतू बाबा
and of course myself फालतू रानी लेकर आपके लिए और drive time that's going to make it totally exciting and totally मस्तानी बन जाने
just February 10th already and you must be wondering oh my god कहाँ गया February 10th both हो 2 दिन to our Valentine Day बन जाने and if you're wondering oh my god what do you mean 2 दिन to Valentine Day Saturday को है भाई
love you
Bay Area love you
yeah we all love you Bay Area
that's right brother so here you go this is a traffic update for you guys because we love you so much
that's right and if you want to get tickets which is very limited at this particular point in time you have to go to pragnya.org and then click on the Love Jew Valentine event but jump pragnya.org do it right away.
It's time for the Bandu traffic update. Call us.
तो बंधुजन जब तक हमारा traffic update
It's time for the Bandu traffic update. Call us from wherever you are at 408-912-2479.
Don't forget to tune in right here on Radio Hotties. Bam Bam Show Pay from 5 to 7. It's going to be a very unique kind of a show. And obviously, आपको मालूम है we've been doing लता मंगेशकर जी के लिए जो श्रद्धांजलि हम करते आ रहे हैं for the past several days, I would say, since she passed on. Each day is a different flavor. So stay tuned for what's coming up today. It's going to be a completely different flavor. And then, of course, tomorrow's Anmol Lagme is going to be something that's few people would have been able to imagine what we would be doing as a Shraddhanjali. So, Altu Baba?
Here you go.
It's time for the Bandu traffic update. Call us from wherever you are at 408-912-2479.
Audio heaven, the audio feed is going and it's like suddenly when your internet or I'm not sure if the connection just dropped off. Did the connection just drop off, Altu Baba?
I don't think so. That should be fine. But anyways, a quick look at the traffic for you guys. Traffic is looking kind of okay. The freeways are free, but there's some incidents coming reported over here. There's a report of incident on 237 eastbound off of the west of North First Street, Branjan, so watch out for that. CHP is already on the sea, matlab clear kar rahe hain aapke liye, so don't worry about that. Otherwise, of course, freeway is looking like as though it's a COVID situation on them, so not much of traffic and gardi over there. So, Faltani, let's go weather-wise. If you look at weather is very interesting and nice. Weather actually is sunny all the way today, tomorrow, and the day after as well. So it's going to be a nice time for you guys to go for a picnic, or if you want to attend our event on 12th, that is this coming Saturday.
Oh.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. So, Banjan, the weather is going to be what? I think 77 degrees, right, Altu Baba? It's going to be a nice and beautiful sunny day on Saturday, so we're going to have the best, and it's going to be an outdoor dance party. So get ready, Banjan. Bring out your dancing shoes and dance away your blues. And wear comfortable shoes. You can dress to impress when you come to this particular party, which is going to be happening right here in the Bay Area, Banajan, the Love Jew Valentine Bay Area party. But I think, Altu Baba, it's time for us to be heading into the news headlines, right?
Let's directly jump into the Faltwani. Go ahead. And this is the news for you guys, Banajan, coming right here from the Media Mahima's desk. And if you want to catch up on the news items, go to mediamahima.com. and you can find the stories right there for you to read out.
Well, Banjan, I know many of you might be wondering, oh, The Power of the Dog, right? That particular movie, many people are talking about it. Benedict Cumberbatch has done a phenomenal job, apparently, as the bad guy in the movie. So, people are saying that he is a favorite for winning at the Oscars. Well, let me tell you, while some Oscar-nominated movies are still playing in the theaters, odds are that if you want to catch up on these nominees, you're still going to be in streaming land. That's right, OTT. So there are a bunch of streaming services. They backed a number of movies that secured the key nominations at the 94th annual Oscar. So you can actually watch these movies, which includes Power of Dog, and which got about 12 nods in terms of nominations. Coda, Belfast, Drive My Car, Licorice Pizza, all this, you can be watching all of this via digital rental. And how do you watch it? Well, you'll have to go to mediamahima.com and we'll share where this is going to be aired. In fact, Meryl Streep is starring as President Janie Orlean in this movie called Don't Look Up, which is supposed to be another favorite. And Best Actor and Actress, Andrew Garfield in Tick, 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 Boom, Olivia Colman in The Lost Daughter, and Benedict Cumberbatch in The Power of Dog. All this, I think, is available now on Netflix. You can actually watch these movies. So I just thought I'd share that because I was reading up on it. I was trying to find out how I can watch it. So I thought I'll share that. It is newsworthy for some of you. And speaking of newsworthy, Banjan, let's also tell you that Disney Plus is launching Obi-Wan Kenobi. May the Force be with you. Star Wars fans, listen up. That is something that's going to be on May 25th. There is going to be the 45th anniversary gift for Star Wars. And the company announced a nostalgic debut date for the show, which will see Ewan McGregor reprise his role as a legendary Jedi Master. And of course, if you've been watching Don't Look Up, because SpaceX satellites, about 40 satellites that SpaceX just launched, are going to be losing orbit. That's right, Banjan, due to a solar storm. Up to 40 of SpaceX's Starlink satellites are expected to fall out of orbit thanks to some inopportune timing. The company launched the satellites directly into a solar storm. So guess who's going back to the drawing board?
Let me guess. Elon Musk.
Yes. He's going to go and have to figure out what did they do and what went wrong, because the batch of 49 Starlink internet satellites that were on SpaceX's latest launch on February 3rd, and now the company is expecting to lose most of them because they hit the space weather event, which is known as a geomagnetic storm. And what happens is a stream of charged particles and solar winds emitted from the sun interact with the Earth's magnetic field, and these particles can heat up the upper atmosphere, causing it to thicken. So in this case, the storm impacted the area of the orbit where SpaceX's newest Starlink satellites were deployed, and it made the atmosphere dense enough that the satellites weren't able to maneuver their way up to their intended orbit. Oh, there you go. We got our music back, and also a nice echo to my voice. Let's also tell you, Banjan, what's happening in Washington, D.C. Former President Donald Trump has endorsed challengers to 9 congressional Republicans as he seeks to reshape the field of candidates who will contest the November 8th elections, when Democrats' razor-thin majorities will be at stake. Much of Trump's fire has focused on the handful of Republican lawmakers who voted to impeach him on a charge of inciting the U.S. Capitol riot of Jan 6, 2021, or to convict him on that charge in a Senate trial that ultimately ended in his acquittal. This week, he also targeted a Republican lawmaker who voted against impeachment but who had chided him for his role in the riot and has been a vocal critic of some of the former president's allies. Below are notable, now I'm going to share with you the notable Republicans whom Trump targeted through his endorsements. Representative Nancy Mace, Shortly after taking office as the first Republican woman elected to represent South Carolina in the House of Reps, Mace has said that Congress should consider censuring Trump because lawmakers needed to find a way to hold him accountable for the Jan 6th riot. She voted against impeachment but has been a regular critic of his inner circle. So Trump is trying to get her replaced. Representative Dan Newhouse, Representative Tom Rice, Representative Peter Maher, Representative Anthony Gonzalez, Representative Liz Cheney, Senator Lisa Murkowski, and Representative Jaime Herrera Butler, and Representative Fred Upton. These are all people on Trump's hit list. He's trying to get all of these people replaced by going to the drawing board and trying to fund and build campaigns for candidates to run against them in these in the upcoming elections, so that these people don't come back into power. It is out and out vendetta, don't you think, Alto Baba? It just seems like you go against him and he will do everything in his power to get you out of the way. Speaking of, remember I talked about Elon Musk's troubles? Well, his troubles seem to be just starting, because California state agency has now filed a lawsuit accusing Tesla of tolerating widespread discrimination against black workers at an assembly plant, mirroring claims made in several other cases against the electric car maker. The complaint filed in state court late on Wednesday claims Tesla's factory in Fremont, California is racially segregated, and that black workers are subjected to racial slurs and discriminated against in job assignments, pay, and promotions. The Department of Fair Employment and Housing said in a statement that the agency has received hundreds of complaints from Tesla workers. Tesla is already facing at least 4 race discrimination lawsuits by employees and is challenging a $137 million jury award in October to a black former worker in the Fremont factory. The DFEH's case will likely cover conduct that affected many more employees, as the agency is not bound by agreements that most Tesla workers signed to bring legal claims against the company in arbitration rather than court. There is also good news for victims of sexual abuse and sexual assault at workplaces. The U.S. Senate on Thursday approved a bill that would ban companies from forcing employees who allege sexual assault or harassment to settle their claims with an arbiter without the option of filing a lawsuit. The bill, which the House of Reps passed earlier this week, was sent to President Joe Biden to sign into law. The Senate approved it in a voice vote, indicating broad bipartisan support in the narrowly divided chamber. The Ending Forced Arbitration of Sexual Assault and Sexual Harassment Act was first sponsored by Democratic Senator Kristen Gillibrand and Republican Senator Lindsey Graham in 2017. It would provide federal protection for employees' rights to sue their employers over allegations of sexual harassment or assault, nullifying clauses in employment contracts that force employees to enter arbitration with their employer instead of filing lawsuits. So I think it is good news on that front. Also, with regard to the investigation that's going on, riots that happened, Manajan, in 2021, the U.S. House Committee has found gaps in official White House telephone logs on the day of the deadly riot, with a few records of calls by then President Donald Trump during the hours investigators know he was making them, the New York Times reported. Investigators have not uncovered evidence that any official records were tampered with or deleted, the newspaper reported on Thursday, citing 2 people familiar with phone records. Altavava, should we head into local news?
Sure, please go ahead.
In local news, Manjan, let's tell you, if you're planning to go out to the beaches, because it's going to be a beautiful weekend, the National Weather Service has issued a warning to Bay Area residents who venture to the coast to escape the heat. Never turn your back to the ocean. That's right. Rip currents and sneaker waves are likely from 5 a.m. to 7 Thursday on beaches stretching from north of the bay in Sonoma and Marin counties down up to Monterey, with the exception being the south-facing beaches of Santa Cruz. Moderate to large breaking waves are also expected, so please be careful. Never go too close to the water. It could come even where you think you're just standing to play. Never turn your back to the water and look at the maps of the riptides, right?
Yeah, and it doesn't mean that you just have to go there and not look till not come. So you're going to be watchful so it doesn't actually, you don't miss out on it, right?
Yeah.
You've got to be aware when you're on the beach for sure.
Right. And also, let's tell you, Banajan, in California, Santa Clara County residents are now reacting to the mask mandate. A lot of California restaurants took a big hit in business during the Omicron surge. So news about the state's mask mandate lift were well received. However, the joy didn't last long for Luna Mexican Kitchen and staff in the South Bay after Santa Clara County announced that they are not going to be following the state's decision. They're still going to keep the mask mandate in place. Residents are saying that it's pretty frustrating, and it's pretty fair to say that a lot of people are frustrated and are kind of ready for things to return to normal. Public Health Officer Dr. Sarah Cody said that it comes down to three metrics. The first has already been met since we are one of the most vaccinated counties in the country, but the hospitalization rate must be considered as safe and stable by her, and the rolling 7-day average for new cases must drop to below 550 cases a day. Right now, guess how many cases we have?
How many?
1,700 cases every day.
Wow.
Yeah, we still have very high levels of community transmission, she said. She said that we still need to keep the mask mandate on because we are not in the clear yet. Also, the feud between the San Francisco Police Department chief and district attorney is still continuing over police investigations and the use of excessive force. In world news, Banujan, Russia is doing a pretty scary job. I mean, people are saying that they're holding drills in Belarus as the West is warning of dangerous build-up. Britain said on Thursday that the West could face the most dangerous moment in its standoff with Moscow in the next few days as Russia held military exercises in Belarus and the Black Sea following its troop build-up near Ukraine. Tensions have remained high, with Ukraine also staging war games, but leaders on all sides signaled that they hoped that diplomacy could still prevail in what British Prime Minister Boris Johnson called Europe's biggest security crisis for decades. French Coast Guard has rescued 36 migrants in the English Channel who are trying to cross to Britain in an inflatable dinghy. The Maritime Authority for Northern France said on Thursday. French authorities were intercepting inflatable boats several times a month, returning people to French shores, a spokesman said. In November 27, November of migrants, almost to 30 people died when dinghy deflated as they tried to cross the English Channel. Also, an ex-British Prime Minister, John Major, accused his fellow Conservative Boris Johnson on Thursday of breaking COVID-19 lockdown laws and said that he should resign if he's found to have deliberately misled Parliament with his brazen excuses. And let's go on over and see how news from India is coming up. Jan, there has been a record turnout. Almost 60% polling has happened in the phase 1 of the Uttar Pradesh polls. And Manipur poll dates have been revised. The nearly month-long assembly elections kicked off on Thursday with 58% of Western UP going to polls. The polling passed off peacefully without any major incident. However, campaigning continued at a feverish pitch elsewhere in Uttar Pradesh and the 4 other states that will go to polls. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has addressed rallies in 3 states, UP, Uttarakhand and in Goa. In UP, I think it was a saffron sweep in the phase 1 seats is what they're saying. In Manipur, the polling election commission has changed the schedule for polling in the northeastern state of Manipur. Now they're going to be voting on February 28th. Also, RBI chief Shaktikanta Das has said on Thursday that private cryptocurrencies are a threat to macroeconomic and financial stability and undermine its ability to deal with challenges on the two fronts. Cautioning investors, the governor said such assets have no underlying whatsoever, no value, not even the value of a tulip, is what he says. The comments are a reiteration of institutional concerns on such assets expressed earlier, but assume significance because they come days after the union budget put a 30% tax on gains made on such assets. And of course, in entertainment news, Bandajan, marriage is on the cards possibly for Farhan Akhtar and his love interest Shibani Dandekar. Farhan Akhtar's mother, Hani Irani, has revealed that Shibani Dandekar and Farhan Akhtar invited them over for dinner and told them that they're going to be getting married. And actor Aditya Pancholi, who got into a feud with a producer of a film called Sam Fernandez that initially starred his son Suraj Pancholi, has now been subject to a police investigation because an FIR has been filed against him for assault. So that was pretty much what I had in terms of news from all across the world and all in the Bay Area and everything, Altu Baba.
That's wonderful.
Is there anything you have for us?
I have a Gane Ka Kida, Going Away Gane Ka Kida for Banjan. This is a song which I actually have picked up because the whole week, 7 days dedicated to our dear Lataji, who passed on into the next on Sunday, 6th of February. Of course, she's had the longest stint in the industry, I suppose. I don't think anybody else has gone beyond that time. 75 years of working in the industry, Banjan. She was 92 when she passed on. So you can imagine at a very young tender age, she actually entered the industry, made a mark on it. And of course, as we're doing the shows, we realize researches we've done and how much of an impact she's had. And she's one of the people actually, if Bollywood, there's some liberties given to women, and also in terms of those things for even singers for the matter, have to give thanks to her because of all this. Probably in the upcoming shows, Faltran will be able to share with you what all she's compiled in terms of her efforts. When she put her foot down is when everybody could climb up. So that's what is going to be, we're going to talk about on our shows as well. So definitely this today, listen to our Pam Pam show. We have one more special dedicated show for Lataji, and we also have our Friday show. It's going to be a special Anmol Lagme, which you will not have seen anywhere, but it's a new kind of a production, so you'll like it. I'm sure you'll like it. We promised you in the early part of this particular year. Every year, for the matter, we try to do something different with our presentations to you and keeping you engaged. And I hope you liked all these things. If you like them, subscribe to our channel for sure, so you can remind us. And of course, yes, subscribe to, if you like our page on Facebook, automatically get updates. But if you're on YouTube, you can go subscribe button, click karo wahan pe. We want to make sure that we can actually provide a good content. And yes, feel free to send us messages as to what you want to see, what you'd like to see, right? That's what we try to do for you guys, build those things for you. But right now, a beautiful song in the voice of Lata Mangeshkar for this movie, which was actually Pukar. Here you go. Song from the movie Pukar for you guys, it's a very nice song, a prayer song actually. And if you want to know who the music director's particular song was, A.R. Rahman sir. Lata Mangeshkar ki आवाज़ है. And this actually is a rewritten poetry or shairi of Majnun Sultanpuri, rewritten by, of course, Jalal Saab.
the best music with the best entertainment. You know where it keeps getting hotter. And that's Radio D Hotties. And हाँ मैं आपकी फालतू रानी सुनते रहिएगा. There's more lovely music that we've lined up for you. Total D